Okay, okay, I think we can start. So, these two lives of today and tomorrow are focused on sentence construction. Many people text me on Instagram and ask me for a guidance about how to start learning Italian. And actually, some of them already learn Italian, maybe through a course or by themselves with YouTube or with some apps, but they still struggle with grammar and sentence construction. And this is the point. Sentence construction is always the first obstacle to face when learning a language. And so these three lessons are aimed to show you a very simple exercise that can help you to build sentences in Italian. And how you can read here, how to accelerate your progress and be able to express yourself correctly in Italian, because this is the point, to be able to express yourself correctly. Communication in another language. So now let's start our presentation, our lesson. Let me talk a bit about me. I need to introduce myself for those of you who still don't know me. So my name is Simona and I come from Sardinia. Sardinia is one of the biggest islands of Italy, the one between Spain and Italy. Throughout all my life, I always had experiences with different languages. My mother was born in France, so she can speak French. My father lived in Germany for 13 years and he can speak German. And I have also a German brother with whom I needed to communicate in English or in German because he is not so able to speak Italian. So I grew up always facing these struggles to try to communicate in other languages, and also with this desire to speak different languages. Because to me, it was like having a superpower, being able to speak another language, and no one else can understand me. Like you can talk about whatever you want. This was my thought when I was a child. So all these experiences pushed me to decide to study languages also at university. At university, I decided to focus on English and German because I already had a good level of French, thanks also to my mother, and I wanted to focus in these two languages. After these first 3 years of university, so once I took my degree, I noticed that I was not able to speak German or English. I had a lot of knowledge about grammar and also theoretical stuff, but I was not able to speak. And this is the problem I know in most of the schools, universities in many countries. So I decided after my first graduation, I decided to go to Germany to spend some months there. I wanted to stay there also to live, but things happened and I needed to leave. So I spent in Germany 5 months, and there I had the opportunity to attend a school of language, of course, where I really improved my German. So there, not only I had the opportunity to improve my grammar, my knowledge about grammar, but they also let us make some good exercises to practice conversation. That it was what I was missing from school and university. Conversation, practice of conversation, and especially practice with sentence construction. So once I finished to this school, I had like a B2 level with German, and I was impressed because there I learned also some good exercises through which you can really communicate in another language. Some very effective exercises. Once I came back to Italy, I decided to make a specialization in cooperation and intercultural mediation, and through it, I also learned how to teach a language to people, how to approach them, which are the main difficulties. And actually, teaching was not my purpose at that time, but it was like the destiny was tracing the path. In fact, at first I wanted to work as a translator and as an interpreter. I worked in a company with that. I was a copywriter there. Something I was feeling that something was not right. I felt I could not feel happy there. So I decided to quit the company, and then the pandemic arrived. With the pandemic, I found myself to live again with my parents. I was not able to find a job, and I see by accident on internet a platform that was looking for Italian tutors. So I decided to start this way, just without knowing what to do, and that's how I started to teach Italian. It was a very long journey because I needed to put into practice what I learned. At university, I needed to create my own method, to create my material, and even if you know in theory how to teach a language, in practice, to put everything into practice, it's completely different. So it's been a very hard work. Anyway, with this job, I had the experience to meet some wonderful people that are my students, and the people that gave their trust to me since the beginning, and that pushed me to improve more and more. So to add another language on my list, last year I married a German, not a German, my God, a Brazilian guy. So my husband is Brazilian, and I am currently learning Portuguese. I'm learning Portuguese because I need to communicate with his family, with his friends, and also to survive there in Brazil. And of course, I am facing the same struggle what you have with Italian. I have the fear of making mistakes because people can laugh at me. But despite that, I always push myself to speak Portuguese because I know that it's the only way, like I did with German and English, and also because I love to learn a new language. It's very a beautiful journey, and it's what I try to transmit also to my students, that learning a language should not be something difficult, something hard, but it is a beautiful process, because you grow. The more you progress with the language, the more you grow. And about it, I would like to leave three of my students to speak for me. So these three students are some of the first students that started to learn with me. They trust on me since the beginning. So we have three students from different countries. The first one is Carlos. Carlos comes from Brazil. He started to learn Italian because he wanted to take the citizenship, which he took 2 weeks ago. He obtained the Italian citizenship 2 weeks ago, and he's still here. He's now learning Italian is a hobby for him. He enjoy a lot, and he likes to see himself speaking another language. So now I leave Carlos to speak.
Ciao, mi chiamo Carlos, vengo dal Brasile, imparo l'italiano con Simona da 2 anni. Le lezioni di Simona non sono solo di grammatica italiana, ma anche di cultura e storia italiana. Per questo le lezioni sono molto piacevoli e lo studio della lingua diventa più facile. Sono molto felice che Simona sia la mia insegnante di italiano. Grazie Simona, grazie mille.
So the second student is Nancy. She comes from Greek, but she lives in Poland, and she is a translator. She wanted to learn Italian to work also with this language. She already attended some courses. She learned something by herself, but she had lots of confusion in her mind about grammar, and she struggled also to speak because of this confusion. So we needed to put things in order. to create, to put into order all the mess that she had in her mind. And now she is able to speak Italian very well, to write Italian very well. It is what she needed. And we did that with grammar, but also practicing reading and speaking. So now I leave Nancy to speak.
Well, I've been studying with Simona for 2.5 years, and honestly, I can say that she's super patient. She always corrects in a way that doesn't make you feel bad about it. She also goes with your flow and never pushes you to do stuff that you're not ready for, which for me it was the most important part. And after all this time, I have noticed a huge difference on the way I speak and on my actual knowledge. So I totally recommend her.
The third student is Peyman. Peyman comes from Iran, but he lives in Canada since 20 years. And he has this love for Italy because he is born in Italy. So he felt this bound with this country, and he wanted to start learning Italian because of that. And Peyman had lots of struggles since the beginning because whenever he tried to speak Italian, he felt very nervous. He started to sweat a lot. His face was red, and it was very hard for him because he was shy and nervous. But now he can speak Italian. He can handle basic conversation about different topics. Recently, he was in Italy and he felt so free to speak. He didn't care about his mistakes. So it was very good to see him so brave. And now I leave Peyman to speak.
Buongiorno a tutti, mi chiamo Peyman, vengo dall'Iran, ma vivo in Canada. I would like to thank Simona for tolerating me for 3 years that I'm taking classes with her. She's really good. She's patient with me, and I think she's patient with all the students she has. And she teaches really good. She's very kind, really knowledgeable. First of all, she's really knowledgeable. It's easy to work with. So that's why I'm with her for 3 years, and hopefully I learn faster as I was doing till now. And thanks to her, I'm in Italy, and I could handle some more than basic conversation actually, and I had a good time, and I'm having cappuccino.
So these three students left their testimony, and now we can start with our lesson.
Ciao, mi chiamo Carlos, vengo da...
Well, I've been studying with Simona for
Buongiorno a
2.5 years.
tutti, mi chiamo Peyman.
Everything is okay. So what are you going to learn in this bootcamp? This bootcamp is focused on sentence construction. So first of all, you will learn to acquire vocabulary. After that, you will learn how to memorize vocabulary by association of words. And then the last part, you will build sentences through the vocabulary you have learned and memorized. With that, before starting this lesson, I need to announce that I prepare a special gift for you, which I will reveal at the end of this class. So stay here and stay till the end, because you are going to miss, if you leave this live, you are going to miss a very special gift. So let's start. First of all, why you don't progress in Italian? Most of the reason why you don't progress in Italian is lack of opportunity to practice. I have already said that unfortunately, the way we studied is influenced by the way of study we learn at school. So at school we learn to focus on grammar. And this is what we are doing now. We focus on grammar. So that's why you miss the opportunities to practice because you can see the way you can practice Italian. Then grammatical complexity. Some people can be lucky, especially French, Spanish, Portuguese, because their grammar is very similar. The grammar of their languages is very similar to the Italian grammar. Some of you instead have your mother language is completely different, and also the grammar, and you struggle to understand Italian grammar. Then we have verbs and conjugation. We have lots of verbs in Italian and lots of different conjugations, especially with the past tense. So I know that it's always a very big struggle, but also with that there is a way to learn. Then pronunciation and accent. Pronunciation and accent is also another obstacle. I am experiencing it with Portuguese. One of my major obstacle is pronunciation. For me, it's really hard to pronounce the words in Portuguese. I always work on pronunciation and accent since the beginning. Not too much, but since the beginning, I ask my students to read in Italian since the beginning, even if they are starting from zero with me. And the last point is fear of making mistakes. So this is, I think, the biggest obstacle with learning a language. Because we have this fear of feeling ridiculous. We fear of uh, people that can laugh about us, and also we grew this fear since we were children, since we were a child. At school, we learned that making mistakes was bad because we risked to take a bad note. Also at university, we learned that if you make mistakes, you can't pass an exam. So mistakes are like demonized in the process of learning, but they are not. I always say to my students, you need to make mistakes in order to learn Italian. This is actually this works with every language. You need to make mistakes. It's like a step that you need to do to face, that you need to take in order to learn a language. No mistakes, no speaking. So now I will show the method that I use with my students to start building sentences in Italian. You can overcome all these obstacles that we have seen in the last slide through exercises, through effective exercises that can help you, first of all, to acquire vocabulary and then to put into practice what you learn. So to build sentences. With my students, I use descriptions. First of all, we learn the basic grammar, like verbs conjugation, articles, adjectives, masculine and feminine. After that, we start to build small sentences. After this step, we start with description. Why I use descriptions? Because the students can focus only on that, okay? Only on this method, and description help you to practice many different aspects of a language. And also, whenever I see my students to describe something and feeling proud of themselves because they are speaking Italian, it's always a joy for me. So what can we describe? We can describe objects, people, and places. Today we will focus on objects. With objects, I mean simple objects, even a bottle of water you can describe. With people, you can describe the people close to you, your family, friends, colleagues. And places, with places, I mean also the rooms of your house, or an open space like a park, or we can describe a picture taken in the countryside. So there are many different ways to make descriptions. Why I use descriptions? Because in just one exercise, we can practice sentence order, verbs conjugation, articles, masculine and feminine, adjectives, and vocabulary. So all the basic grammar we learn in the first phase of the course. So now, before starting, something important: description help you to learn how to build sentences. This is why I focus on that. And now we can start. So today we focus on description of objects. Tomorrow we will focus on description of people. So now let's choose 3 objects. I choose un libro, a book, una borsa, a bag, una maglietta, a t-shirt. I decided to choose these 3 objects because they are very common. Anyone at home has a diary, a bag, and a t-shirt. So it's very easy to find these objects and to follow this lesson. So now we will start with the book. First of all, I wrote here some small expressions that you can use to start a sentence in order to describe the book. The first one is il libro è. The book is. Il titolo è. The title is. Il libro parla di. The book is about. And then I chose 4 adjectives. Interessante, interesting. Noioso, boring. Lungo, long. Corto, short. So now you can start the first phase of this method, that is acquired. Now you are acquiring new vocabulary. Now let's see how to complete these first expressions with some information. Il libro è rosso, red. So the book is red. Il titolo è diario, diary. Il libro parla di, so the book is about, storia, history, guerra, war, amore, love, avventura, adventure. And the last one, let's see the adjectives. Il libro è interessante, interesting, noioso, boring, lungo, long, corto, short. Now we had these first expressions. We completed these expressions with the information of the book. And then let's see how we can build a small descriptions with these short sentences. Il libro è rosso. Il titolo è diario. Parla di storia e amore. So about history and love. Il libro è interessante. È un po', a little bit, lungo. So we have learned the first expressions in Italian. We completed these expressions with information about the book. Then we build our description. We simply put as simple informations like the color, the topic, the name, and also some adjectives that describe the quality of this book. Interesting and long. So you don't need to make complex sentences to learn a language. You need to start from the very simple way. So short sentences with just a subject, a verb, and the rest of the sentences, that most of the time is an adjective. Simple with that. Now, let's see how to describe a bag, una borsa. We will make the same process of the book. So let's see now, first of all, some Italian expressions that are useful for you to start your sentences, and then we will complete these expressions with some information. La borsa è. The bag is. La borsa è di. In this case, I am talking about the possession. So, which is the owner of this bag? Who is the owner of this bag? So, the bag is the bag of someone. I pointed this because these small expression can be used also to talk about the brand of a bag, but we will see this example in the next with the next object, with the t-shirt. Next sentence: la borsa è fatta da. The bag is made by. La borsa è fatta a mano. The bag is handmade. And then let's see other adjectives. 4 adjectives. Grande, big. Piccola, small. Nuova, new. Vecchia, old. Again, now let's see how we can complete these simple expressions with information about the bag. La borsa è gialla e bianca, yellow and white. La borsa è di mia sorella, so the bag of my sister. La borsa è fatta da Prada, so here we can simply place the name of the brand. La borsa è fatta a mano da mia sorella. Another option if the bag is handmade. La borsa è grande, piccola, nuova, vecchia. Let's see now how we can put all together these small sentences in order to build our short description. La borsa è gialla e bianca, yellow and white. È fatta a mano da mia sorella, so it is handmade by my sister. La borsa è grande e nuova, so the bag is big and new. Again, we simply took some expressions in Italian, we completed these expressions with some information about the bag, and then we build our description with small and short sentences. It is simple. So you just need to use some information like adjectives to describe the quality of an object. Let's see now how to describe the t-shirt. So, una maglietta, a t-shirt. La maglietta è, the t-shirt is. La maglietta è di. So now we will see how to use this expression to refer to the brand. So the t-shirt is by. Sulla maglietta c'è. On the t-shirt there is. C'è means there is. And then we have again 4 adjectives. Larga, large. Stretta, tight. Elegante, elegant. Sportiva, it means sports t-shirt. So, we have again our new vocabulary. We acquire new vocabulary, new expressions, we try to memorize them, and then we complete these expressions with the information about the t-shirt. And we start to build the sentences. La maglietta è nera, black. La maglietta è di Adidas. Of course, I am inventing the brand. Sulla maglietta c'è, so on the t-shirt there is la parola buongiorno, the word buongiorno. La maglietta è larga, large, stretta, tight, elegante, elegant, sportiva, sports t-shirt. Now, let's see how to build our short description with these short sentences. La maglietta è nera. È di Adidas, so it is by Adidas. Sulla maglietta c'è la parola buongiorno, the word buongiorno. La maglietta è larga e sportiva. Again, with simple sentences, we build our description. We build sentences with the words and expressions that we acquired and memorized in the first 2 phases of this method. This is now you can see how description can help you with sentence construction. Well, thankfully, in Italian, sentences are not difficult because the order is very simple. It is always subject, verb, and object. With object, we refer to the rest of the sentences. In this case, to information and adjectives. So thankfully, we have always this order, this order of the sentence with negative sentences, with questions. So it is easy to practice sentence construction in Italian. So this is the method I use with my students. Actually, with them, it's a bit more difficult because, well, I have the opportunity with them to study basic grammar. So they have all the tools that they need to build sentences. I don't give them these expressions that I put here. They need to build these small expressions, but it is very stimulating, a very stimulating process. Here, I decided to put these expressions because I know that some of you already started to study Italian, and I know that some of you are starting from zero, so you don't have any knowledge about it, but you need it. So you needed a starting point to understand what we were doing now. Okay, so I showed you the simple method about description of objects, and tomorrow we will see how to describe people. So again, another way to acquire new vocabulary, memorize them, and then build sentences. At this point, I must say something. I must say that there is not a magic to learn Italian fast. Why I am saying that? Because some of you text some people, not I don't know if you are among them. Some people text me in chat on Instagram and ask me, "Oh, Simona, how I can learn Italian fast?" Okay, if you want to learn Italian fast, you have to study many hours every day, and maybe in 4 months you can be fluent in Italian. But with many hours, I mean like 8 hours a day to study grammar and to practice the language. So there is not a way to learn a language fast. This depends on you. This depends on the amount of effort you want to put on the learning process. I can give you the tools, I can give you all the knowledge that you need, but the efforts, you need to put the efforts. Don't believe to any method that guarantee you to learn Italian in 3 weeks or in 1 month. You can't learn Italian with an app unless you focus very well on grammar, unless you find an app that can give you the opportunity to speak with other people, because there are some apps that let you make conversation with other people. But also in this case, you need to give your time to that. You need to put effort to build sentences and communicate with other people. So there is not a magic to learn Italian fast. You need to be patient, to uh, to to make efforts, and to give also a bit of your time to that. So now uh, it's time to announce the gift. So there is not a magic to learn Italian, but you can practice with exercises, with effective exercises, as I showed you today, and also with resources that are simple and time saving. Time is always the biggest excuse that people give when they need to study a language. I don't have time. I need to work. I need to study. I know all of this because I always say that to my mind, but I always struggle every day to find a way to practice my Portuguese. We have many resources nowadays with the internet. We have YouTube, we have podcasts through which we can practice a language. We have also Instagram can help you to practice a language. My page on Instagram is an example of it. I always put videos about grammar, about some sentences we use in our everyday language. So all these tools are for free for you to help you make your learning process more stimulating and more Yeah, I can't say easier, but more simple. And one of these resources is also this Notion. So this platform is a very good resource that you can use to, actually you can use it for other aspects of your life. I discovered Notion recently, and it is a very good platform that can help you to organize everything about your life. You can organize your job, you can organize your daily routine, and you can organize your learning, not only your studies with university, but also your learning process with a language. So Notion is a very good platform also to organize your learning process with Italian. So this is your gift. In the description, you will find the link to access to this dashboard. I don't know if some of you already have Notion, but anyway, it's a very simple platform to use, very intuitive, not so complicated. So you will find in the description a link to access to Notion. So if you already have an account here, you can simply copy this dashboard to have in your account, or if you don't have an account, after you click on the link, Notion will ask you to create your own account, and after that you will access to this dashboard. With this dashboard you can organize your Italian study, your language, your learning process. And here, where you see practice conversation, you will find already a basic conversation that I created for you. And there is already the English translation there. You can add also other sentences. You can add other sentences in this part of the dashboard with the translation. So sentences about conversation. Here, with where you can see daily sentences, you can put the sentences that you learn every day in order to have them in just one place. And if you want to practice them every day, you just go here in on Notion and practice the sentences. And my favorite part is about flashcards. I often recommend flashcards to learn vocabulary, to memorize them. Flashcards are the cards where you can find on one side the Italian word and on the other side the translation in your language. So they are very good to memorize vocabulary about different topics: the house, animals, food, and so on. And here you can already find some virtual flashcards with the Italian word and their translation. So you just need to add other words to these flashcards. So this is my gift for you. I really hope that you will enjoy this dashboard, and especially that you will profit about it. Uh, I am giving you all the tools that I can to make your learning process simple, stimulating, and less heavy. Another resource that you can use is my WhatsApp VIP group. My WhatsApp VIP group is another tools that you can use to make your learning process easier. So every week on Monday, on Wednesday, and on Friday, I share practical exercises to improve verbs conjugation, sentence construction, vocabulary, and pronunciation. So you can use uh, this group also to add something on your Notion dashboard. For example, on Monday, I always share an exercise about verbs conjugation. So I choose a topic of the week, and then I share a verb connected to this topic and the conjugation of this verb. And then I build a sentence with this verb. And I encourage you to make the same, to build a sentence with this verb. After that, what you can do, you can take the sentence that I wrote and the sentence that you will write and add this sentence to Notion here, daily sentences. You can add the verb that I decide to conjugate here on flashcards. Wednesday is focused on vocabulary. So I choose a word connected with the topic of the week, and I invite you to find other 4 words connected to these words, to this word. What you can do, you can add again the words, the new vocabulary here on flashcards. And then the last one, pronunciation. We focus on pronunciation on Friday. On Friday, I share the 4 words connected to the words I chose for Wednesday, and then I send a vocal message to show you the pronunciation of these words. And you can find the link of the group on WhatsApp in the description of this video. And especially this group is important because you will be notified about tomorrow's live. Don't forget, tomorrow we will have another free lesson at 8:30 p.m. at Rome time zone again. And you will be notified when the live will start. So it is very important so you can learn also how to describe people, and then we will enjoy to learn some other words and expressions. Okay, so this first lesson is finished. I hope you enjoyed. I say hi to anyone. I hope that anyone enjoyed this lesson. And yes, I'm watching now the messages on the chat. Yes, I will add any link in the description later. Don't worry, you will find everything. You will find everything. I will add all the link that you need. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the lesson. See you tomorrow. I wait for you for the second free lesson. We here on our page Speak Italian with Simona, and take paper and a pen and take notes. Have a good night and a good dinner if you haven't eat yet. Ciao ciao.